Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and today we're taking a look at Turbo Palkia, the list that won the Melbourne Regionals this weekend. Bit of a different way of playing Palkia. Seen lots of Inteleon builds, but this is a build more focused on items and Mew from Celebrations and some 2-prize draw Pokemon. I'm really trying to go as quickly as possible to get attacking as early as possible. I'm really trying to put on some pressure with Palkia. So yeah, the list is pretty simple. It's pretty much entirely built around Mysterious Tail Mew, very similar to the Dialga list that's been doing well recently. Lots of items you can see, trekking shoes, scoop up nets to be able to reuse. The Greninja, plenty of ball search cards, lots of buckets, all of this kind of stuff, really leaning into this Mysterious Tail that lets you look at the top 6 and grab an item there while it's in the active, which is pretty cool. So yeah, 4 of those. Paired with the Greninja is essentially the way we're going to be drawing lots of cards. We've got concealed cards to discard an energy card once during a turn, and you can draw 2 cards, which can be, of course, reused with Scoop Up Net, which is great. Like I mentioned, 4 bucket and 10 energy means we're always going to have lots of energy live to be able to draw lots of cards, which is really good. You can see the Palkia line is pretty thin. It's a 2-2 Palkia. Essentially, rather than trying to get Palkia'd at like lots of Palkias and try and win the game with like multiple Palkias, you're just going to try and win the game with essentially 3 bosses orders. We play 4, so we're just trying to target these 2-prize Pokemon and really try and win the race that way, which means we don't need a huge amount of additional Palkias. Obviously we have lots of ball search and ways to find the ball search as well to be able to get the Palkia out early, but we do have a couple of additional attackers as well. We have a Starmie V with that energy spiral attack that helps decks that try and flood the board of energy. Things like the Dialga deck, things like Turbo Dark, things like Arceus builds. This is a really, really good inclusion. Can be Melony, can be Star Portaled, and can be set up out of nowhere, which is really good. Also can actually attack in the Palkia Mirror after a Star Portal as well, which is pretty interesting. And then we've got one Suicune V. There will be certain situations where you're able to just take a 2-prize knockout pretty early, especially if your opponent sort of filled their board and led a 2-prize Pokemon or something like that. So having an additional aggressive option can be pretty good. It's basically our only turn 1 attacker going second, so we do have the option to do that. We have Lumineon plus a couple of Melonies to be able to power up Blizzard Rondo, plus it has that fleet-footed ability just to help us, or help smooth the deck over here and there if it's in the active spot. Yeah, then as I mentioned, we have a couple of Crobats and a Lumineon to help find these important supporter cards, as well as just draw some cards and take the reliance off the supporters, so that we are able to boss. We can draw so many cards with this deck in the early turns, which allows you to be able to boss orders frequently, which is really good. One Pumpkaboo, the deck is not playing any stadium cards, and it really does rely on Star Portal plus a couple of these other important abilities. So being able to find the Pumpkaboo when you need it is going to be important. You can see we're playing the Hisuian Heavy Wall already to kind of make use of the Greninja, but it also helps out in finding the Pumpkaboo in the important spots as well. So playing a couple of those is really good to be able to, not be completely shut off by a Path of the Peak, which is important. One Galarian Zigzagoon really helps in combination with Choice Belt as an essentially a plus 30 instead of a plus 20 to help get up to 280. The deck can deal 270 pretty well with Choice Belt. It's not too hard. So Galarian Zigzagoon being able to put that additional damage counter onto the opponent's Pokemon to push into 280 for these VSTAR Pokemon is going to be really relevant. And finally, a couple of Diancie, the new Diancie with the Princess's Curtain ability that says basically when this Diancie is in the active spot, your opponent can't boss his orders your basic Pokemon, which is going to be really important going second against a lot of decks. You can see that we're playing a very low amount of Palkia V, so you really don't want these getting bossed early on. There are a few decks out there playing Cross Switcher which does get around Diancie, so it's worth keeping that in mind. But against the decks that are just playing boss, it really basically lets you hide behind a 1-prizer and skew that prize trade to make them take at least 2 1-prizes or maybe even 7 prizes in a game, which is pretty important, whilst protecting your Palkias, which can then, on the following turn, you've bought yourself an additional turn, you can then find a boss's orders and try and start racing against these 2-prize decks that way instead. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. As you can see, the engine is very item heavy, just to really lean into that Mysterious Tail. We've got 4 Capacious Buckets along with 10 energy just to be able to have lots of outs to find or to draw cards with concealed cards. 2 Heavy Ball, 4 Quick Ball, and 4 Ultra Ball. Again, just lots of Ball Search cards. And then Trekking Shoes and Scoop Up Net to really be able to draw cards with the Trekking Shoes and Scoop Up Net to draw more cards with the Greninja. Finally, a couple of items, a couple of tools as well, just the Air Balloons and Choice Belts helping smooth over the deck. Air Balloon being a great attachment to a Mew to be able to move it out of the active and always be able to see an additional card from Mysterious Tail going when you've sustained a knockout or something. And then the Choice Belts, again, just really further pushing the Subspace Swell attack into really high numbers. And then finally, as I mentioned, 4 Boss's Orders and 2 Melony. The deck really wants to boss turn after turn after turn if possible. You'll weave a Melony in here and there, maybe on a turn where you're not attacking anyway, or you've got a 2-prize Pokemon in the active that you're going to be getting a KO on. But there's a lot less reliance on it because of Star Portal, being able to set up your other Water Pokemon attackers, which is pretty important, which again really lets you just lean into Boss's Orders as frequently as possible. Some changes you could make to the list. This is the exact 60 that won the regional. Christian Hazabani, along with I think 2 other players in top 8 and 1 other player in top 16, all finished with the exact same 60. So yeah, really well done to the players that played this list. Very impressive list for sure. A couple of changes, like I mentioned. Echoing Horn could be an interesting one. I've seen Echoing Horn in a lot of Palkia lists lately, and I really don't mind it. It helps push that damage. It's essentially a +20 modifier that you can also screw up your opponent's sort of board state with a little bit, and it's searchable via Mew, which is good. A Stadium could definitely be included. There's a lot of pressure on this Pumpkaboo to really perform against Path to the Peak decks, so adding in, I would say, probably a Training Court here would be pretty good, just to, again, help further rely on that Deoxys. Sorry, not Deoxys, that Greninja. And then finally, a Manaphy is another interesting one. There's lots of 1-prize Pokemon that an opposing Radiant Greninja could feast on here. So playing a Manaphy could be pretty important, just because that's another way they can promote a 1-prizer and take 2 prizes and try and skew the prize trade back into your favour as well. As being able to just sort of poking a Palkia and then finishing it off, plus taking an additional prize with the Greninja later on, is a bit scary. So yeah, they'd be the cards I would probably be looking to include if you wanted to adapt the deck list a little bit. But we are going to jump into some games as we have a quick shout out from our sponsor, the Potown Store. Make sure you check out the Potown Store. They have Astral Radiance codes right now. You can use code Omnipoke as well for 5% off your order. So make sure you head over there and grab your code cards. As we do indeed have a game here. Looks like we're going to be losing the coin flip, which is a shame. Means we're going to be going second. So yeah, really potentially looking to try and find that Diancie. Bit of an awkward hand, to be honest. We don't want to lead this Crobat because I think we're going to need to draw cards from it based on the texture of our hands. So we're just going to have to lead the Palkia, which is a bit of a shame. Quite hard to move this out of the active spot. Looks like we're against Stonejourner. Okay. Again, going to be pretty hard for us to get a KO on this Stonejourner this turn. Let's see what these Trekking Shoes start with. We can discard Water Energy pretty freely. I don't want to use this bucket because we're going to be relying on Crobat here. So I'm probably going to burn the bucket. Which means if I'm burning the bucket, I kind of want Water Energy in the bin, I think. But it doesn't matter too much. So we'll just Trekking Shoes again. See another bucket. We don't want this bucket. See another Trekking Shoes. Again, we can get rid of the Water Energy, I think. We see a Ziggy. Ziggy not the strongest of cards in this situation. But we'll use it regardless. Do I genuinely want to burn this bucket, or do we just hold it? I think we burn it. We have a lot more outs to finding Water Energy anyway. Let's see what we have access to. We have Greninja. We have both of our Palkias. So we prized a Mew. I think we prized a Water Energy. We've prized one boss as well. Not going to be excuse me. Not going to be too relevant. Prize a couple of nets as well. Alright, let's Crobat. We could Melony here. I don't hate Melonying, to be honest. I would much rather Melony to something else, though. I can't remember how much Stonjourner VMAX does, to be honest. So I don't mind just Melonying to the Suicune. Let's Melony to the Suicune instead. Guarantee an attacker on the following turn. We'll pop this down as well. We play no stadiums. But let's rule the region and pretend we do play stadiums and pretend we've prized them, I guess. So yeah, Starmie could be pretty important here if they stack a load of energy onto the Stonjourner. We're probably going to have to two-shot through these Stonjourners, which is a bit of a shame. Especially given they're getting tankier by the second. Hammers aren't anything we're too worried about, just because of Star Portal, though we are going to need them to stop getting heads soon. Guard press reduces 20, so we're doing minus 60 at the moment. So this essentially has 270 HP, which we definitely can't reach right now. So I think it's going to be a pretty simple turn. Just going to be Star Portaling to the active and one to the Suicune. Or we could go 3 active just to play around double hammer. No, let's go 1 bench. This plays around boss better. And they're more likely to boss than double hammer. So we're doing 60, 80, 120, 140, 170. Minus 60 is 110. So we're getting a 2-shot either way. So we don't need to bench the Diancie here. Pokegearing for a Cabu is a pretty scary concept. I would imagine they have a lot of outs to finding this VMAX, which will stop us from getting the win this turn, if they VMAX. Hammer number 3. Sweet Honey. That was 3 heads. Ooh, that is not what you want to see. Now I am going to put this into play because Suicune does a lot less damage. Given they didn't have the VMAX, hopefully it means they don't have outs again. They see another Cabu though. And an additional Stone Energy. Did they get the VMAX here? Another Stonjourner would mean they don't immediately lose the game as well. But obviously that would be a bit worse for them because we'd still get the KO on this one. Nothing insta-played. Oh, they have a Hyper Pot. Maybe having to Hyper Pot, but then doesn't have an additional energy, so you're just going to have to guard press here? Yeah. Okay. So again, they're reducing 60. This time they have 250. Yeah, we're just going to have to keep subspace swelling. Top deck to the VMAX. Pretty gross. We know they don't have an energy though, so if they don't have it, okay, they did have an energy. Wait, if they did have an, did they? Oh, had they already attached that turn? Maybe they'd already attached that turn. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Let's. Okay, we have the Palkia, which is good. Just gonna grab the quick ball here. Let's see what this Starmie has for us. I don't think there's anything super relevant in the prizes, so I think I just want to quick ball away this heavy ball. Or we could hold this. We could hold this combo. Basically, I don't want to reveal Starmie if I can help it. So I think I'm just going to discard a boss here and put down a Palkia and kind of... Oh, we do have a Lumineon prized. Okay, that's pretty important. I guess I shouldn't have discarded the heavy ball then. Didn't spot the Lumineon was prized. Oh, I didn't discard the level ball. I'm a genius. Okay. We have the heavy ball for Lumineon next turn. Yeah, I basically don't want to reveal the fact that we have access to a Starmie. I'd rather also hold the choice belt for surprise damage as well. Since putting it up to 210 here doesn't change huge amounts. So many heads. Okay. 3 heads on hammers, 3 heads on sweet honey, 3 heads on lucky ice pop. No, 2 heads on lucky ice pop. Pretty good going here. Max Rockfall just missing out on the KO is pretty good. Do we have a KO here? 200, 230, minus 60 is 170, which is not a KO. So let's just attack with Suicune again, I guess. Let's do another poke. Basically got 210 left. Avery going here. I actually think Avery is pretty good for us because our board is pretty clogged. Hyperpot is annoying. We have 2 buckets and 5 energy left, so I'm pretty sure we're correcting Melony first. Probably should quick ball some stuff out though. We can't go for the Starmie because they were able to get rid of some of the energy with Hyperpot. Which means we're never going to be able to Starmie Which we're never going to be able to surprise Starmie, which is a shame. I don't really know what I want Tail to grab us here, but I want to keep a bucket around just in case they do play some kind of hand disruption. Basically, we're all in at this point, though. Yep, they were able to get there. That was a lot of heads flips on those healing cards, though, so I don't feel too bad about that one. They healed like 180 damage, I'm pretty sure, off the head slips. Starting Lumineon is pretty gross. We have a lot of other starters that would have been better. Hello. Looks like they're playing the Dialga deck. Well, if nothing else, we have a way of getting the Diancie into the active, which is pretty good. Should we need to. Yeah, we're going to be having a pretty similar turn to them. We're going to be bucketing and then going for a Greninja of our own and seeing what we have. We have the net to Greninja again. Okay, so we've priced Starmie, which is a bit annoying, but we have at least a heavy ball. I think I'm getting all of these energy out here. They could get Marnied back into the deck, but we're going to be able to discard a lot of them, which means they're going to be live with Star Portal, which is good. So let's kick things off with Greninja. Let's do it again. I'm not using this quick ball yet because I want to see a couple of basic... Well, I want to see some basic Pokemon here, right? Palkia is good. We can net Greninja again before using this quick ball. Which again, I think I want to do. I think I just want to get a second Palkia down here. I'll try and find a one prizer as well. This works as a one prizer. We can just feed the Dialga this. I want to get this Lumineon out of the active so that they can't 3D Cronus Star. So pretty sure I'm just quick balling. go quick balling in energy here. For another of these. Pop this down. Pop this down on here. Pop this down on here. Attach this here. This forces the cross switches out of them as well. Avery going's fine. Avery being played is fine. Pretty sure we can just happily get rid of the Lumineon. If they don't get the KO, we have to retreat anyway. If they do get the KO, we're promoting Palkia anyway. So yeah, getting rid of Lumineon is fine. Shame we lose the air balloon, but that's okay. Got themselves a Mew. There's one cross switcher. Okay, a simple turn from them. Ooh, we top deck the Palkia, that's huge. That is huge. Let's start with this. We get to hit this Palkia, we get to hit this Dialga first, which is really good. Do I want to Melony? Sorry, do I want to Star Portal or do I want to just attach? I kind of want to save the Star Portal to be able to get a Starmie out of nowhere. Though we have Melony. Star Portal feels kind of wasted though. So I think I'm just going to attach manually here. We can Ultra Ball for a Crobat, but I don't really know what we're digging for here. We're not going to get the KO, right? 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 210, sorry, 220, 250. No, we're going to struggle to get the KO anyway, so I'd rather just hold this. I don't really want to discard the boss or the Melony, so I'd rather just hold it. We shouldn't be a threat from a knockout on the following turn, and even if we are, we can just Ultra Ball for the Palkia and Star Portal again. Actually, I guess we could have Star Portaled and threatened Greninja as well, but we have access to this. They've turned off my ability for the turn. Second Palkia is great here, and we've got the shoes. Had to use both of our air balloons, so the Mew's not going to get free pivoting this game, which kind of sucks. We should be in a good spot here though. We've hit the 2-prizer first. It looks like they're going to be putting another 2-prizer down for us in that Crobat, which again we can hopefully bully. We have another boss. That's the nice thing about playing 4 boss, right? You just always have boss. We can even Star Portal and take 3 prizes here. Take a take the Dialga plus a Mew if we wanted to. Pretty sure we're just gonna boss though. Boss this, boss the 2-prizer, and then Greninja the 2 Mews if possible. They can't get the KO right. I think they did all 4 sources plus attach. It's just a pass from them. Okay, this is definitely happening. Do we want to take the Snipe KO here? I think I'd rather boss, honestly. Do you want to put the Mew down? Yes. Do you want to play the Crobat? I don't think we need to. Let's play some shoes first. Don't need that. Holding the Ultra Ball's not bad. We can grab this and attach here. Or we can draw 2 more cards with Greninja, but I think I'd rather just... I think we win the game now just by attacking. I don't think we need that many more cards. We can boss... we can Crobat next turn, or we can try and Crobat now. To be able to Crobat again next turn should they get a KO, or we find a... Okay. Yeah, playing lots of bosses orders is really good, it turns out. We'll grab one more game. I'm not sure which list I prefer out of this and the Inteleon build. I think I really like this build though so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's very aggressive, which I think is really cool because Palkia is a great aggressive Pokemon. It likes being the problem. Really cool to see Mew Celebrations getting a lot of love as well. Oh goodness me, this looks like Blissey Miltank. We don't have great answers to Miltank, to be honest. In fact, we have nigh on 0 answers to Miltank. Which is a real shame, because Miltank is a card that people are playing. I think I want to take all these energy out. Right, what do we have access to? Oh, Swift does go through Miltank, actually. Swift can 1v1 Miltanks. We just have to not bench too many 2 prizes, I guess, so that we can net up all of our 1 prizes and just 1v1 with Starmie. Okay, that's fine. I do want to keep that. Wow, only 1 item. That is unlikely. Yes, I definitely do need to keep that. It's a tough one because we want to keep our bench small so that Miltank can't 1v1 the Starmie too well, but we need to keep it quite big as well just to be able to attack with Palkia. We'll do a lot of damage with Palkia, right? Obviously, Starmie can also blow up a Blissey, which is pretty good to remember. To the point where it might even happen next turn. Is it energy or any cards? It's energy. Not quite going to be there. Probably going to have to poke through this first Blissey. Pokegearing early, pretty interesting. 60, 80, 100, 120. We can put a 2 prize Pokemon down. I kind of want to get rid of the Greninja, I think. Even though it's kind of going to screw our prize map up a little bit. I think I want to KO the Greninja. Not able to do that though, which is a shame. Do you want to just Diancie poke here? Kind of want to just Diancie poke here, I guess. We need to be doing something, right? We can just boss the other Blissey and poke that one, I guess. Spike draw. Maybe we should have put the Diancie down that turn. I wasn't thinking about powerful energy. Yeah, maybe we should have put the Diancie down that turn. Had not occurred to me. Then they couldn't have bossed. We can find a Melony here. We actually just KO this Blissey, which is pretty good. So a quick ball would be good. An Ultra Ball. Air Balloon is not the one. Pretty sure I noticed very little in here that's going to be useful. Yeah. I think this is the best we can do. Hope they don't have boss. Cape of Toughness isn't going to help because they have 6 energy attached, right? It's energy, not energy cards. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be stopping the KO here. So we could find out otherwise shortly. Ah, they do have the boss. Okay. This game is over, I'm pretty sure. 150, 180, 190, 170, 190, 210, 230. Yeah, they have the KO here. $240 even. Where did I miscount? I don't know where I miscounted. Yeah, this game is over, unfortunately. We will have one more, because that wasn't a real game. We drew pretty badly there. We need to wear trekking shoes. So I guess not playing that Diancie turn 1 would have opened up more outs. Would have let the Mew live, which would have opened up more outs. So yeah, I should have played the Diancie turn 1. And just hid behind the Diancie. Yeah, that was on me. Hid behind the Diancie. Would have seen another card with Mysterious Tail, which could have been basically any ball search card, right? Which would have potentially got things going. Yeah, should have played the Diancie. Good to note. I just didn't factor in colourless energy, powerful colourless into the attack cost. Okay, we're up against a Mew here. How do we want to kick things off? We definitely need two prizes down. That's pretty key. Do we have our Greninja? We do have our Greninja. I think we're just going to be chasing two prizes here. Going to feed them a 1. They have to take a 1. We're just going to try and boss. I think is the plan. The plan that makes sense to me. I think we're just going to quick ball into the other Mew here. Sorry, we're going to quick ball away a quick ball for another Mew here. Okay. Fine. We will have one more game. I want one more game. A couple of the games have been not real games so far. Going first. I don't mind leading Diancie, to be honest. I'm playing Wheezing with Dark Patch, so probably Turbo Dark, I would say. If it's Turbo Dark, I don't mind doing this. I think it's unlikely that they get the KO turn 1. That's actually not even true anymore. Galarian Moltres V is a thing. We see one less card because of the Suicune, but we're getting a mulligan plus a trekking shoes. Basically, I just want to find a Palkia this turn. Boots. We don't see a Palkia, so we're going to have to settle for a Suicune. Suicune is still kind of fine. They're probably going to go quite wide. We have Boss, we have Melony. So it's not the end of the world. Playing the coughing build, the coughing wheezing build. Looking for a switch out, I would imagine, to try and find, or to try to be able to Ascension. Transcend. 100, 120, 140. $170, 190. Pretty close to the KO here. Pretty close to the KO here. $20, $40, $60, $80, $100, $120, $140, $170, $190. We can get to 190. We can't get to 210. Problem is, we have to boss to be able to get there. And bossing is scary because it means we have to commit to one of our lines. We could just boss KO the Greninja. We have guaranteed KO on the Greninja. What are our outs? We have quite a few Pokemon. A lot of Ball Search cards. I really wanna boss the Darkrai. I think we boss the Greninja. And we hope that this isn't a Pokemon. Oh, you hate to see it. We did have a lot of outs, but we had more not outs than outs. So I think this was correct. But hey. Okay. Really want to get a Palkia down this turn. Which I think means discarding the balloon. And the Lumineon. We could Starmie here instead. Not Starmie, Crobat here instead. But I want the choice bet on the Palkia as well. I think we just have to rely on Lumineon, rely on Melony next turn. Bit risky, definitely a bit risky, but it is what it is. Should have believed in the heart of the cards and bossed the 2-prizer. Severe poison here. Okay. It's pretty good for us. Do we need anything else? I think we just hold the hand and get the KO here. They're going to Dire Flame KO. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 160, 190, 220. Okay. So we have the KO here. We can also Melony here, which is good. Weave in a Melony. I don't mind also weaving in the Star Portal, to be honest. I don't think we're going to be able to, though. Melony plus Attach is pretty good, though, here. Did get the Attach. Got the Bucket as well, which is good. I guess we could have heavy balled for the Palkia there, actually. Probably should have heavy balled for the Palkia. But yeah, that I guess that counts as more of a real game than the other two. So we'll leave it there. It's been a pretty long video already. I really like this build, though. I like how aggressive it can be. I think that's a real selling point of it, to be honest. Being able to hide behind the 1-prizes and then just dictate the game by bossing up 2 prizes. So yeah, really, really like the build. like I say, I mentioned a couple of cards you can maybe change, maybe finding space for a Stadium or a Horn or a Manaphy or something could be good. But yeah, other than that, the list seems really good. I really enjoy it. So definitely try it out. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Jack from Omnipoke, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another video soon. Cheers, everyone.